All right, Ojo Ighalo, thank you very much for talking to us.
You're welcome.
First, let me find out from you. No doubt you've had injuries since you transferred from Watford to is it Chantrin
Yeah,
Yatai
Chan
yes,
Yatai.
exactly,
Yeah.
in China now. You've struggled with injuries and you've not featured prominently for your club. I think so far you've featured maybe 6 times and actually scored probably 2 goals. But just give us an idea. How do you feel now? Are you better now?
Yeah, I would say I'm much better, but the match fitness is still getting there, because I was out for like 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. So it's not easy as a footballer when you got injured during the season. Then you have to come back, start training, working out again to be on the same level you were before you got injured. So I can remember the game I got injured. I got 2 goals in that game, and I got bad tackle on my ankle, which had problem before. So it was a painful incident, but I thank God it's over now. So I'm getting back, and it's a new league. I'm getting used to the league, and I'm happy things are going well, even though the team is not going the way we want it. But I know the season is still we still have like almost 20 games to go. So I think we can still do better before the end of the season.
Tell me about the Chinese league. I mean, a lot of people have been saying so much about it. In terms of the intensity of play, how would you compare the Chinese league to that of the English league where you just left not quite long ago?
There's no comparison. Like I said, English league, the Premier League is the best league in the world. I've played in Spain, I've played in the Italian league, played in Norway, played in England too. For me, for all the leagues I've played in my 10 years in Europe, Premier League is the most intensive league in the world. You can't compare Premier League to the Chinese league. There's no level, because the intensity in Premier League, you have to make sure you're ready for it, because in a game you see a team running like this 90 minutes. It's attacking football and all that. You have to run, you have to be ready. In China, the league is just growing. It's a league that you're going to say maybe in the next 3-4 years time, when they are pumping money into it, bringing more foreigners, more foreign coaches, you're going to say they are growing bit by bit. Not the same way the Chinese league were last year, the same way it is now, because that's gone one level up. Maybe next year it's going to go another level, but it will be going like that. But you can't compare it to the Premier League. No way, even though they pay a lot of money there, but the Premier League standard is different. And it's incomparable.
Because you talked about money, let's talk about it. We're seeing more and more African players head up that direction, heading to China. Not just African players, as a matter of fact, even South American players too are
Yeah.
all rushing to China. There are quite a number of them. Is it the money that is attracting you guys, or just the love of the game that you just want to help the Chinese improve the standard of their league?
First, let me talk about mine. I have the opportunity to go to China 2 years ago when I just gained promotion with Watford to the Premier League. They offer me more money then than what I'm receiving now. But I turned it down, because when I was young, when I was back there in Nigeria, my dream is to play in the Premier League. So when that offer came in, they flew all the way from China. The owner of the club and the director and all that, they talked to me and all that. So I told them, no, I don't want to go. My dream is to play in the Premier League. I can't just sell my dream now because of money and all that. They convinced me, even the owner of the club, Watford, they accept the bid they bring in. Say they have to convince the player. Even the owner of the club called me several times, that it's a good
Because
money for
the
you.
money was too much.
It's too much. Say it's a good money for you. You have to leave. You have that. I said, I'm not gonna go anywhere. Say, it's Premier League. We're gonna buy new strikers. I say, if you like bringing 3 or 4 strikers, bringing Ronaldo here, I'm gonna play here. I'm gonna fight for my shirt. I said, no, I'm not going. But I stayed, and I played, and I did well. My first season in Premier League, I scored 16 goals in the Premier League and all that. The next season again, they came again. I said, no, it's not time. But this season that just finished in the English Premier League, we got a new coach, changed everything around. Things were not going the way he should go. The team did not do well. You see, the team Watford ends 17 in the table. You know, we did 2 years ago better than that. So everything just changed. You know, and me, I'm somebody that don't like problems. You know, I rather move away than having problems. Instead of me having problem with the coach or having problem with anybody, I told my agent, I want to leave. For me to leave, for me to have more playing time, I'll go, because I've done a lot in this team. I can't be sitting down on the bench and all that. So some Premier League team came, but Watford don't want to accept the offer because they can't offer what the Chinese already offered on the table. So
it was just not your own decision alone to move to China?
Yeah, that was not only my decision, because if it's my decision, I will still play maybe 1 or 2 years more in Premier League before I move to China. Of course, the money is good. I won't tell you lie. If I sit down and tell you that the money is not good, I will be deceiving myself or deceiving people. The money is good for me. It's good for my family. It's good for my career, because at the long run, we're playing this football because of money. So, but some other players have different ambition, you know. I've played 10 years in Europe. I've played in the best leagues in the world. This is the time for me to change. I want to go to China, because maybe this is an opportunity. God said, this is your time for you to move. That's why what is going through you're going through them, you know. That's why I went there. But some other players have different ambition, you know. Some want to help the league to grow. I went to China not just to go and I want to win with my team. I want to do well and come back to Europe again, not just going there to make money and just finish my career. No, that's not what I went there for.
So do you plan, for instance, that at some point that you may come back to Europe?
No, I'll come back to Europe. I'm not going to finish my career there in China. In 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be 28. So I'm going to come back to Europe and finish my career by God's grace. But only God knows the plan, you know. But that was my plan. That's my plan, to come back in a few years to Europe to finish. But I have to wait for God and let God decide.
So for those of you who are going to China, I'm talking about most especially you, the African players, how are you received over there? What's the reception like?
Yeah, you know, we're playing in different clubs. For me, I'm okay, I'm more comfortable in my team, because, you know, sometimes you go to a country, it's difficult for you to adapt and all that, because I've played in so many countries and it was difficult for you to adapt, you know. Like when I went to Italy, it was not easy for me to adapt there, you know. I only played 1.5 years there, I think. But in China, they help you to do everything. They make you comfortable, because they can't spend that kind of money for you to come there and you don't feel comfortable. You will not concentrate and going to do job for them. What are they spending the money for? So they make sure they do everything for it to be comfortable and all. They help me in everything I need. So sometimes I just say, I would just be joking, I want to even play even 10 years here and all that, because I feel comfortable and all that. Not much pressure as you having in Europe and all that, you know. There's pressure there, you know, because they're paying you big money and they bought you for big money, you know. But it's not like in Europe, you know. So I'm happy my team are doing everything possible for me to be happy, my family and everything. But so it's good.
Tell me, I mean, your club, Changchun Yatai, actually bought you. They brought you in to help them to score goals. So far, those goals have not been coming as fast as you would expect them, as we saw during your first season in the Premier League, for instance, in Watford. So are you bothered about that? Is it putting you under pressure? We know, of course, injuries have not been kind to you as well.
Well, I'm a professional. Sometimes it don't always go the way you want, you know. And it's a teamwork. I'm a striker. I like to score goals, but sometimes the goal did not come does not mean I have to kill myself, you know. Like the last 2 games I did an assist, you know, even though I did not score. Doing an assist in the game is much better than you want to be, like putting pressure on yourself, you want to score goals and all that. But if I score, that would be good. But sometimes you just have to work for the team, you know, do your best and all that. If my team win games and I don't score, I'll be more happy, because it's better for my team to win games, have more points, than me scoring in every game. But like a striker, I want to score goals, because that is what they bought me for and all that. I know the season is going to end well, because this first half of the season is just getting used to the league, going through some challenge with injuries and difficulties and all that. But I know when I start scoring, I won't stop, because I know it has happened to me before, and I manage it well. and I know I can do the same here.
And talking about injuries, I mean, Mikel got injured, you injured. Is it that the defenders in the Chinese league are the tackling defenders harder than the ones you see in the Premier League?
I won't say they are harder than the one you see in Premier League, you know, but it's different league. The Premier League defenders are very tall, they are very calculative and all that. They don't go anyhow and all that. But in China, you know, the league is still growing. You have to be careful because they come all out, and especially when they do, this striker, they bought it from big money, it's a big player and all that. They don't want to give you no space. Some people think the Chinese league is just pushover, you know. They think it's easy. It's not easy. It's not what they think, you know. When you go there, when you see the games, you will know that it's difficult because they don't want to give you space. They tackle you in every minute, every time you touch the ball. You're going to get a tackle.
So you have to be very careful there.
Of course, man. Of course, if not, you're going to be out every 2 weeks.
Quite surprised. Well, some people will say not quite surprising. Since you went to China, I mean, you have not been invited to the Super Eagles. Of course, the team will be playing on Saturday. And do you think your going to China might have affected your chances of being called up to the Super Eagles?
I don't think so because we have a lot of players there in China playing for the national team, you know. The last time I was not called up is because I was out with injury. Spoke to the coach. This time, they didn't invite any player from China. No, the coach knows why, you know. The team is playing on Saturday. I'm wishing them all the best. I even texted the coach 2 days ago. I'm wishing them, they have a young squad that can make Nigerian proud and all that. Me, I will concentrate on my club side, helping my teams to win games, scoring and doing well. If I'm being called upon, I will go give my best because Nigeria is my country, it's my national team. I still have age on my side to still play, and I'm waiting patiently for that time to take it again. Some people say, because you went to China, you lost your national team and all that. Sometimes you have to make some sacrifice. Things will not always go the same way for you in life, you know. Sometimes you have to take some and drop some, you know. So I won't, if the same chance come from me 3 times again, I'll still choose China because that's where God wants me to be for now. So I'm not bothered about being called upon to the national team or not being called upon because I know I still have age on my side. I still have time to play for the national team.
Tell me about, you know, your feelings now about the death of course, one of Africa's best players, Cheikh Tiote. Did it come to you as a shock when you learnt of his passing?
It's a big shock, you know, because I was on the flight. We just landed and I switched on my phone and I got some messages, you know. I said, no, this can't be true, you know. I'm telling you the gospel truth. For the past 2 days, I've not gotten myself, and sometimes I'll be afraid. I'm thinking, how am I going to go to training and thinking about how this same player like me fell down in the training ground and collapsed and is gone the same way. I'm afraid. As I'm telling you now, I don't know how I'm going to have that courage when I go back to China to start training, you know, because this is a shock to the football world. I don't know him personally, but I played against him in the Premier League. He's a calm and nice guy. One of the attackers, you know, when they say somebody is hungry to play, a workaholic, does a dirty job in the team. It's a player that when you have in your team, you know he's going to fight for every ball. It's a great loss to the football world. And I'm feeling heartbroken, emotionally down because he's the same player like me. Because if this can happen to a fellow player like me, we're on the same field. Who knows what will happen tomorrow? So I just pray God keep us alive and keep guiding us so we won't go through what he went through. And I pray we'll rest in peace.
Before I let you go, I just have to ask you one question, probably second to the last, I should say. Your former team, Watford, we can confidently say they escaped relegation by the whiskers. What do you foresee for the team next season? Are you surprised that things turned out for the team that way? Because, basically the team just refused to do well, unlike what we saw the previous season.
I'm not that surprised, because when the league started, when the new coach came in, some coach, they'll just come into the team, just want to change everything at once. It's not done that way. You have to work along with people you met in the team. You have to make some people in that team happy for you to do it, because there's some players in that team, if they are not happy, they don't give their best, it's difficult. Like Troy Deeney is the captain of the team. He has been in that club for 7-8 years. I've been there for 2 years plus, but what I've done in that team, you can't just come and start, say you are the boss, you want to change everything. Some other player there and all that. So I didn't surprise much, because I told one of my friends back then after we played like 10 games, I said, till this season we end, I don't see a striker in this thing that will score up to 10 goals because of the way we're playing, Because we're playing more defensively.
Okay, the pattern of play completely changed.
It's changed, It changed. We started playing 5 at the back, sometimes 3 at the back, 5 in the midfield and all that. So respect to the coach, that is his own pattern, but like I said, he just come in a team and change everything. It's difficult. Watford is still in my heart. I still talk to friends there. I still support the team. Anytime I go back to London, I still go to the team because they're still in my heart. But
you miss the team?
Of course, I miss my friend there. I miss the team. Okay. But, I know the team is going to struggle this season because of the way the coach just came in and started doing everything. Not like last 2 seasons, The coach will give a player time to express themselves and all that. Not coach just come, I'm the boss, you want to do everything yourself and all that. They sometimes start benching the captain.
Yes.
Troy Deeney.
Yeah, that's true.
That guy has been there in that team. The fans love him even more than you, the coach. So you don't just come and do that, Not only him, he did it to some other players and all that. Yeah. Even you see Isaac Success.
Yes.
He's one of the best players.
So surprisingly,
you've not seen that boy played. I've played with him. I've talked to him. I've lived with him.
We saw him do wonderfully well in Granada, and surprisingly, he came to
Isaac Success. If they can give him 6 months to play in Premier League continuously, you're gonna see what that boy is gonna do. A team like Man City is gonna buy him. He's a good player. He's very strong. He's very fast. He's energetic. He's very skillful. They just need that continuity. He needs somebody that will believe in him. Even though he does mistakes, just talk to him and tell him you can do better and all that. He will break forth. He's a good player. So you can't be that kind of player. You don't play him. Even, so it's difficult, But they have a new coach now, and I wish them all the best. And I know this coming season they're going to do well.
Okay. Finally, tell us about what you actually do for Dubai Africa. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm an ambassador to this Dubai African group, and I'm happy to be part of it because when Tolu first of all talked to me about it, told me about what they want to achieve and all that. It's about charity and giving back, And some people may know me, part of my life or most of my life is about charity. By God's grace, in December, I'm launching my orphanage home in Lagos. And I've been doing charity for long before I decided to have my own orphanage home. So he told me about this, to help sickle cell patients, and my orphanage is going to benefit from it. And I said, why not? If it's about charity, count me 100% in, Some people think, maybe you've signed a multi-million deal.
Exactly.
These millions they're going to give you and all that and all that. No. I'm doing this, it's like giving back. Everything we're going to generate from this is going to go back to the sickle cell and the orphanage. So it's like giving back, and I'm happy to do it. So I'm happy and I'm looking forward to it, and I know it's going to be a great project. I can't wait to meet the fans and to do what we plan to do. We have a lot to do. They're going to see it. We just want to start little by little, and by God's grace, God will help us and see us through.
Our match against South Africa on Saturday, what's your expectation?
It's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be a walk on the park, but I believe the boys there. We have a young squad. We have a good coach now. They will make Nigerian proud. You see the game they played against Togo, they did very well. And by God's grace, I'm praying for the team to win on Saturday because we have to start well. Because the problem with the national team for the past is not starting well. If we start well now, we'll win the first game. It will give us more confidence to go to the next game. Not when you lost the first game or draw, you start shaking and all that. You don't know when you're going to get your ticket. But I know if they start well this Saturday, going to fly.
Ighalo, thank you very much for talking to us.
You're welcome. Thank you
Thank you very much for
Thank
coming.
you.